Madam Abba, unfortunately, is not here, and Arun is here, and all of you said, our key thrust is polio eradication. Polio has disappeared, fine. But did you know these diseases have a different thing altogether? Disease doesn't go because of our treatment of our vaccination. Disease goes when the immune system of the human beings improves. Remember that? These are called dynamic diseases. They have a cycle. If a layman wants to know what a dynamic disease is, I don't recommend you go into the medical literature, because there's a jungle full of dead wood. There's occasional teak or rosewood, but to get there, you will be eaten by the tiger or bitten by a snake. So I suggest a good book for you, a layman's book, which is called Turning Point. Book is called Turning Point, written by a physicist who himself became altruistic. His name is Fritjof Capra. Fritjof Capra is teaching physics in the New York University. Disease is directly proportionate to the virulence of the organism, but inversely proportionate to the resistance of the host. 1915, Theobald Smith was an American physician who had the audacity to say this, because up until then everybody believed in Robert Koch. Germ, disease, kill the germ, disease gone. No, disease has not gone nowhere. I won't tell you more about polio because it might hurt, because you don't want to know the truth. Truth is bitter. Truth is very bitter, and truth can influence only half a score of men in a century, said Aristotle, where falsehood and mystery will drag millions by the nose. I will tell you something. There is an Indian scientist called Pushpa Bhargava. Pushpa Bhargava is a respected Indian scientist who was the vice president of the Indian Knowledge Commission, right? Now he resigned from the commission because, I'll tell you why. Anyway, he wrote a beautiful paper for you people to read, which is called The Politics of Poliomyelitis. What's the paper? Politics of Poliomyelitis. It's available on Hindu, and if you want to know, it's the March 11th Hindu, 2000 something. I don't exactly remember the year. But if you go to Hindu's archives and push there, Pushpa Bhargava, friends, knowledge advances not by repeating known facts, but by refuting false dogmas, of which there are many in the world. Number one, even a textbook of medicine as recently as 2006, the British National Formulary has this sentence in it. Number one, do not give live oral polio vaccine to malnourished children. Number two, if you want to give it, first improve their nourishment, and when they have enough nourishment, then only give it. Number three, space it by more than 1 month, because repeated doses quickly will damage the system. And number five, it's only in India that the 31st dose is being given the other day. Now the argument is all children don't come every time, so we'll give it. Those who have come, they have taken 31 doses. Now what happens in a poor child if you give polio vaccine? It's a live virus. So if the virus goes in, and your whole immune system's head office is in the gut, from your mouth to the anus. And we need germs there. Do you know how many germs you got between your mouth and anus? You'll be shocked. 10 to the power 13, 100,000 billion germs you got there. If they're not there, you're not alive. We have a symbiosis with them. And this virus goes there in a child which has no immune system at all. The virus mutates. It becomes a powerful P3 virus, P1 virus, the deadliest virus, and comes out in the shit. And mind you, we don't have toilets in our villages. And the shit gets dissipated in rainy season all over the place. Other children touch it and eat it, and they are now given a deadly P3 virus. And according to Pushpa Bhargava, thousands of Indian children got polio recently, not because of the God-given polio, but man-made polio. Do you know what India needs, my dear friends? Man is man's biggest enemy. What is the greatest service you can do? Let me tell you from my heart. Give a good example to society. Give a good example to society. I can preach to all of you and think that I have preached to the Rotarians and they will all become good human beings tomorrow. I have no guarantee. But I can take an oath standing on this pedestal. I will be a better BMX tomorrow than what I am today. I am sure of one thing. There is one rascal less in this world. I want each Rotarian to take an oath today. I want every Rotarian, Rotary kid, Rotary, everybody, to take an oath, go home, stand before the mirror, cross your heart and say, I shall be a better human being tomorrow. I shall be homo altruisticus and not homo economicus. Because it's so easy to live by sharing. And let me tell you as a doctor, it improves your health. Vaccinations, good, they are good. But ask yourself one question. Other than smallpox, is there any disease in the world which vaccine has eradicated? The answer is no. For the simple reason that a vaccine does not eradicate a disease. It will give you an impression. But the vaccine requires good nutrition first place. The vaccine doesn't prevent disease. The vaccine requires good nutrition. And the nutrition is protein. Antibodies are proteins. So if you have good protein like your children, you vaccinate them, they are fine. But a poor man's child doesn't have protein at all, you vaccinate it. So the British formulary says, in a poor country with lot of malnourished children, the only way to prevent polio is to give Salk vaccine. It's a little costlier, doesn't matter. It comes to about 7.5 rupees per child. It's not a big thing, but every country has banned live oral vaccine except Africa and India. And this is the only place where it can be sold. It's banned. You can't give oral polio vaccine in countries like America and Europe. You can give Salk vaccine, which is an injection vaccine. But here the argument is, we don't have money for that. It requires a lot of money. That is not the argument, my dear friends. You want to do good, right? Do the right thing. Why have half-hearted measures? There are a lot of philanthropes in this world. And you see them on the television, you see them. But are they really philanthropes? You go deep into it and you find they have an agenda, a hidden agenda. This is what worries me. So I want a Rotarian to walk his talk. Our problem is, we all talk about diseases. Somebody has told us we talk about it. You are even telling hepatitis B vaccine. Do you know the real science behind hepatitis B vaccine? It is not required in India at all. Our risk of hepatitis B is 0.16%. And that too, what risk? For people like us, it is higher risk because I am a doctor, you are a nurse or whatever, and you are a healthcare worker, you have to. But go to the school and vaccinate children. My God, there are so many contraindications for that. And I am frightened that homo altruisticus Rotarians get into this homo economics business of selling vaccines. Please think about it. Please think about it. I don't want you to do anything except think, read, go deep into it and find out. Now, reason why smallpox is eradicated is that's the natural vaccination. What does a student read in the book? Edward Jenner did vaccination. If Edward Jenner did vaccination, all of us would have died of smallpox, because what he used was cowpox, which today we know by genetic engineering is totally different smallpox virus. But there was a doctor sent by the East India Company to India to study Indian vaccination system in the 18th century. The year was 1767 and the man's name was T.Z. Holwell, Holwell. He was an FRS, a scientist, and an FRCP London. He came to India and went to Bengal and saw the beautiful Ayurvedic system of vaccination prevalent in the 17th century, 18th century. And he waited there for 20 years to prospectively study the vaccinated people vis-a-vis the non-vaccinated people, and found out vaccinated 90% disease gone. And he went back and submitted this report in 1747 to the Royal College President to be handed over to the king. And from then on, the Indian vaccination system prevails, where attenuated smallpox virus is used, not cowpox virus of Edward Jenner. And if you want to know what Edward Jenner did, you will now hang him. He had a boy called Phipps, James Phipps, as his errand boy, very poor boy, in his clinic. And there is a cow maid who came and told him, I am not worried about smallpox, Dr. Jenner. I have had cowpox. He said, cowpox gives you protection against? Yes, yes. So he asked her, next time your cow gets cowpox, get me some lymph. So she got him the next cow lymph, and he injected this to the boy and told him, I'll give you some injection for strength. This boy almost died of severe cowpox. He survived with the skin of his teeth. The minute he survived, this fellow injects him smallpox pus. Can you believe that? And he was lucky he survived. And that's vaccination. No, that's not vaccination. Know the truth. You go to the internet and say Indian vaccination system, and you will get all the details of what. See, this is what's happening. What you know, what the television tells you, what the paper writes, may not be the truth, may not be the truth. It's not the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So you must get to know these things. So before you go to talk about nuclear energy, try to find out why the difference in the shit.